What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. If you are approaching the end of the Go Battle League season and you're trying to make that legend push, this is the video for you to adopt some teams perhaps that could help you make that final push towards legend. Obviously, it's mostly the plays you make and the skills along the way and a little bit of luck involved to hit that legend ranking, but these are some teams from some top players in the LATAM region that could help guide you if you're searching for a team to hit that legend push. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. If you're new, comment down below. Comments are appreciated. Without further ado, let's get into it. These teams are going to be comprised of one Electric Cup team, and then the rest will be Ultra League teams. So we will start off in the Electric Cup, and the team comes from a man by the name of João Victor, who is one of the top players in the Go Battle League. He's always up on the GBL leaderboards. And this team is similar to a team we actually covered in a recent video featuring Shadow Alolan Graveler with that rock throw, but he has Galvantula and Lantern. Now in the Electric Cup, obviously every Pokemon has an electric typing, so you want to make sure you are running the non-electric fast moves with these teams. Rock Throw, Shadow Alolan Graveler, Fury Cutter Galvantula, and Water Gun Lantern to try and hit everything for that maximum neutral damage possible. Galvantula, he says, acts as his safe swap in this team, so I would assume with a Lantern lead, you probably have the option. You could either swap in your own Lantern or go straight into Galvantula. Galvantula could get you a shield advantage against those Rock-type Pokemon because they got to respect the Energy Ball. And then Lantern, Water Gun down, maybe that energy goes somewhere. Seems like a highly functional team to use in the Go Battle League. So that is the only Electric Cup team of the video, and now we're going to get into the Ultra League teams with Ultra League coming up. First on the list, Elenius Harjef, a absolute tank of a battler, just an absolutely legendary player who has not just won one regional, has won 2 Play Pokemon regionals and swept one 18-0, which is unheard of, has never been done, and will probably be a long time before that's done again. And he is running Deoxys Defense, Golisopod, and Greninja in the Ultra League. He's got a flexible pick in Deoxys. Golisopod's fairly flexible as well. And I tend to enjoy Golisopod myself as one of the best safe swaps in the Open Ultra League, because there aren't a whole lot of things that are going to hard punish it. One of the worst punishes is Mandibuzz, for example, but for Mandibuzz, you can actually hit for neutral damage with those liquidations. If you get a lucky debuff, might have a chance. So this team is what Elenius Harjef recommends, and I think it has a lot of play in the Open Ultra League. Greninja, of course, is a terrific sweeper, so if the Golisopod is able to lure out maybe some sort of Greninja counter, like an electric type, that Greninja could do really well in the back. That is the team from Harjef. And now we'll go to Elenius Bernardo, another beast of a battler. He is running Virizion, Shadow Ampharos, and Shadow Alolan Sandslash. Now, one theme you'll see with these teams is you don't necessarily have to be locked into a certain moveset. I can hear the comments now. Rise, why Brutal Swing Focus Blast? Why not Thunder Punch? Why not Trailblaze? Well, it's up to your own discretion. If you run these teams from these legendary battlers, make sure you can use the movesets we have listed as sort of a template, and feel free to adjust it if you feel like something else works better for you. Me personally, when I've been able to climb pretty high on the Go Battle League leaderboards in the past, it's rarely been a team that I've copied from someone else. It might be a team that's inspired from someone else. It might be a team that I thought of on my own. So feel free to use your own discretion when using these teams if you feel like changing up the moveset is better for you. Virizion in the lead, running Leaf Blade and Sacred Sword, and you're weak to flying in the lead. You got 2 flying answers in the back, so Ampharos will act as that safe swap. The access to Focus Blast could potentially get you a shield advantage against certain Pokemon, and because you have 2 solid like Steel answers, or actually the whole team is pretty good against Steel, maybe you don't even need Sacred Sword potentially. Maybe you go for Stone Edge and have even extra flying coverage if you want. So a unique team here. I like all 3 of these Pokemon. I think they're all pretty fun. And that is the team from Elenius Harjef. Or sorry, Bernardo. Harjeff was before that. And now we go on to Mr. Amelo, who's running one of my favorite Pokemon, Shadow Charizard. He's also got Giratina Altered Form and Virizion in the back. So another Virizion on display. Shadow Charizard going to be great against those grass types, any potential fighting types. Giratina Altered, of course, is a really bulky Pokemon. And with the Shadow Claw variant, I think that's what you're going to want to go for with this team. Because if you see a Tapu Fini in the lead and you swap a Dragon Breath Giratina, that's not very good. But Shadow Claw Giratina can very much hold its own against the Tapu Fini. So I think Giratina Altered Form with this squad particularly, you want to be running Shadow Claw. And then Dragon Claw, I think, is always the go-to. And Ancient Power, Shadow Sneak, kind of your choice. I tend to prefer Ancient Power myself because Ancient Power can fight back against those flying types. If they counter swap a Mandibuzz, at least you can hit it for super effective and fight back a little bit against a Mandibuzz versus if you're running Dragon Claw, Shadow Sneak, you're in a pretty rough spot there. And then Virizion, of course. A lot of teams are double weak to Virizion, so it is a really solid pick, I think, in the Go Battle League, in the Open Ultra League. And yes, sir. You're weak to water. You got two water answers in the back. Pretty straightforward type of ABB line there. After Mr. Amelo, who's left? Who we still got to go to? We got to go to Mr. Vic Roa. I feel like over the course of the seasons, I play Vic all the time in the Go Battle League. He's always in that leaderboard range, and he's running a team that seems like a little bit of a throwback team. Swampert, Alolan Muck, and Deoxys. I used to love Alolan Muck back in the day. It's fallen out of the meta a bit, but maybe it's time for it to fall back in because once G-Fisk became super popular, Alolan Muck lost a little bit of its viability. G-Fisk has since been nerfed. It is not as good as it used to be. So Alolan Muck may be making a resurgence, especially if we see more Tapu Fini, if we see more... What did we just have community days for? Well, Swampert... We did just see Clodsire. I don't think there's going to be too many Clodsires in the Ultra League, though. I know Jonkus just made that video, but it only gets to 2207 CP, so it's probably... I'm sure it's not bad by any means, but it's not probably the most effective Pokemon in the Ultra League just because it can't really deal out much damage with that stat product. But it's still going to be pretty bulky, and this team has some solid coverage for it outside of the Alolan Muck. So even if you do see a Clodsire, you're not in too much trouble. Swampert, of course, probably the best Pokemon overall in Pokemon Go PvP, being that it's viable in Great League, in Ultra League, and even in Master League. And Alolan Muck as a safe swap, going to be afraid of things like Shadow Alolan Sand Slash, but if it's running Shadow Claw, it's going to need 2 moves to knock out anyway, so you might be able to force a shield there. And yeah, Deoxys Defense, probably not the most accessible Pokemon, Deoxys Defense. I'm sure there'll be some comments saying, Rise, I don't have a Deoxys Defense, but that's why we got 6 teams for you. So hopefully some of these other teams you might have access to if you don't have a Deoxys Defense XL. That is Vic's team. Now we got Mr. Ventuski's team. Ventuski, a legendary battler, very well known in the grassroots community, one of the best Sylph players of all time. And he's running Shadow Dragonite, Golisopod, and Tapu Fini. This is the type of team I would run. I like all 3 of these Pokemon, and I have access to them. Shadow Dragonite, very oppressive lead. That's going to allow you to win switch advantage if you want it most of the time. And if you see something like a Shadow Alolan Sand Slash, you're probably going to have to dip out into that Golisopod. And hopefully Golisopod lures out the same thing that would be used to counter the Tapu Fini. So these 3 seem to cover each other quite well. You're also triple good against counter, which is kind of nice. And Shadow Dragonite is just so dang oppressive with that heavy Dragon Breath damage and getting to the Dragon Claw relatively quickly. And then Superpower access for the Steel types. I think you're in a pretty powerful situation. There are things that you would think should beat Shadow Dragonite, like Shadow Charizard, right? Because you can hit for super effective Dragon Claws and they can only hit you for neutral. However, the Dragon Breath just add up so much. If Charizard's not willing to expend shields, Dragonite's just going to overpower it. So yes, Golisopod, as we've talked about, one of my favorite safe swaps in the Ultra League. And I think Aerial Ace or X-Scissors kind of up to your discretion. I tend to run Aerial Ace for having that double super effective move to hit Virizion. but I think X's are also make sense, especially if you're seeing a lot of Greninja. X's can come in handy in that matchup for sure. And Tapu Fini, of course. Same water fairy typing as Azumarill, is a really solid Pokemon in the Open Ultra League. That is the legend himself, Ventuski's team. And I think we covered all 6 here. Let's go, baby. Those are the teams that some of the top players in the LATAM region have sent to us. A lot of achievements from these various players in the LATAM region. So I hope you guys enjoyed their teams. Feel free to go test them out, and shout out to Inadequates as well, and Crazy Filmmaker, who will be posting a graphic representing all these teams. If you want to screenshot the graphic, I have got it right here. But if you want to actually download the graphic for yourself, feel free to go check out Inadequates on Twitter, or X, I should say. And also shout out to Crazy Filmmaker for creating this epic graphic featuring all these teams. Also, thanks to all the submission artists, all the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu players, I should say, with the submissions. And you see their achievements from these fellow battlers here on the screen. Jao Victor, 3 times #1 on the leaderboard. Harjeff, #2 on the leaderboard in Season 11. Vic Roa has hit #3, #5. That's crazy. Bernardo, #1 multiple times. Ventuski, top 50 every season since Season 6. That's crazy. And Amelo, top 100 in the last 2 seasons. So there's a bunch of beasts of battlers in that South America region. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And that said, thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.